My brother is bringing a new woman to my wedding, but he's still married.
Give him a +2.
I'm 30 female getting married in a couple of weeks, and our siblings are in the wedding party. My sister and my fiance's sister are my bridesmaids / maid of honors. My brother, 36 male, is the best man. We siblings get along great. Fiance, 34 male, is my childhood friend and brother's best friend. By the way, this comes from Throw Bridezilla, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKstorytime subreddit. So, my brother's wife, sister-in-law, doesn't get along with my family, and we've had several fights. She has been very snooty with her family because she comes from a wealthier background. Honestly, my favorite kind of people. They know their worth.
Snooty, wealthy people? Oh.
But
Okay.
sorry, do that again. We'll time it right.
No,
Ready?
it's okay. It's okay. She has been rude to my parents, said mean things to my sister's kids, wouldn't let my brother visit the family over the holidays because she didn't want to. The list is endless.
She sounds terrible.
My brother has always defended her and even fought with the rest of the family for her. My parents try to keep things civil for the sake of the family. It's just sad. So obviously, I didn't make a sister-in-law a bridesmaid, but she was invited as a guest. I even texted her to tell her I hope we can put our differences aside and get together as a family on my wedding day. She texted back thanking me for the invite and telling me it would be too hard for her to attend with everything that had happened and that she couldn't pretend. I thought it was typical of her. Didn't give it much thought. Okay? So,
okay.
anytime you don't want to go to a family event, just say there's so much that had happened. I don't think I can make it.
Can't make it this time, guys.
Easiest excuse out. Yesterday, my brother called me and asked if he could bring a +1 to the wedding. I asked if he meant sister-in-law, but nope. Turns out, he and sister-in-law have been separated for a few months because their marriage has been on the rocks. I think there was some infidelity on his part as well because he wanted to bring his new girlfriend to my wedding.
Oh, I thought maybe it was like they had divorced already.
I said, heck no. I have never met this new woman and don't know how long it'll last. And he's still married to my sister-in-law and has a child with her? Bro, get your priorities straight here. I just don't think it's fair to her or my nephew to be replaced with just like that in a family gathering. My nephew won't be attending the wedding, but I'd still like to show him the pictures later. How would it make him feel? So I said no. My fiance and brother both think it's unfair because he's the best man and deserves a +1.
Huh?
Okay, so
I feel like this is of places to bring your fairly new girlfriend that people are just finding out about. Wedding? Not one of them.
not one of them, especially when you're just separated.
Right. When you still have a wife that they know.
You know what the biggest red flag here is?
Hmm.
Fiance is not on the same page.
What do you
OP's
mean?
fiance thinks it's unfair.
Hmm.
Your fiance? Person you're about to get married with forever? Thinks this is unfair? Oh man. That worries me. I feel like that's number one priority.
Yeah. It's not brother's wedding. He doesn't, like, if he doesn't get a +1, he doesn't get a +1.
Yeah.
And that should be end of story. I don't know why there's like
He's definitely trying to rush it. He's like, you got to meet the family so we can get together and like you're gonna love
meet
it.
the family at a wedding?
Yeah,
Yikes, dude.
they're gonna love you. I swear.
He claims his marriage is basically over and he's single now, but I'm standing my ground. So am I a bridezilla? We got some comments. Leave a comment number 1. New girlfriend is going to have to sit this one out. If you didn't know that they were separated, neither will anyone else, and that's way too much drama for a wedding.
Yeah. Everybody that he walks up to and intros this new girlfriend to, they're going to immediately go, where's so-and-so? Or it's going to be like a really awkward, oh, nice
So and so
to
looks so
meet
different
you.
this time of day.
Did
You know?
dye your hair?
Did you change your face?
Oh my gosh. Exactly. I'm 90% sure he cheated behind sister-in-law's back and she's the affair partner. Timelines don't add up and my brother is still being evasive about it. Every requirement says, does sister-in-law know about this woman? Opie says, no idea. Haven't spoken to her since. Quiet Diablita says, could all that has happened that makes her unable to pretend be the failure of her marriage? Opie says maybe. I didn't make the connection then. A lot of other stuff had happened before that. Our last family gathering also ended in a big fight and my parents walking out of their house in tears. She has problems with her family culture, language, etc. In an ideal world, she would have whisked my white passing brother away from his family and made him a part of her world. She hated that he wouldn't cut off his family and tried to teach his son our language. But she changed her last name to my family's last name, so I don't know if she really hates our culture that much. She's a confusing woman. I hate that woman, but that doesn't justify what my brother is doing. Oh, man.
It's messy.
And why does OP think the brother cheated? Thanks, but I'm not assuming out of thin air. He said a few things that made it apparent that he either cheated on sister-in-law or dumped sister-in-law so that he could start dating this new woman. Just 3 months back, sister-in-law attended a family gathering as his wife. There's no way she would have done that if they were already separated. We have an update. 3 months?
Oh.
3 months?
Oh. I feel like that is potentially enough time to figure it out, but I still feel like that's way too soon to come to the wedding.
Yeah.
Because, like, I saw a lot of people being like, that's going to be the drama that the wedding turns into.
Oh,
There's going to be
of
such
course.
a lack of, like, yay, you guys are married. And it's going to be like, did you see new girlfriend?
Oh, what's the brother doing with that new woman
all the
over there?
cats.
Yeah, also, that's going to be
Mommy,
like,
why are they?
that's going to be like the main thing of the wedding now. Like, it's diverting from the wedding, and that's the last thing you want to do is be
Yeah.
that person who's like, I'm going to make the attention about me at this wedding.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. In no way are you a bridezilla to not want someone that you do not know at the wedding.
Oh.
That will cause outward issues.
Yeah. Update. Spoke to my sister. She's absolutely on my side. Parents have no idea yet. I don't know what this guy is thinking. Just show up with a new woman without telling me. We got the big, fat, juicy update. And guys, we're like 2/5 of the way through.
Oh! I feel like we're going to get the wedding. I feel like we're going to know the aftermath. And I'm so excited.
Goodness gracious. Update. Spoke to my fiance. He admitted he's finding it hard to feel bad for my sister-in-law because she has been so horrible to us. And apparently my brother has been miserable for several months. But he agreed that the cheating part was wrong. Fiance agrees that I have a right to be mad and disappointed in my brother. But obviously, we're not going to cut him off for his poor choices. We never did. He's an idiot. But he's our idiot. Aww. Fiance said he saw no point in getting off on the wrong foot with the new girlfriend because what if she's nice and this relationship lasts? I told my fiance I was hoping to get to know my brother's new girl in the future if she's still around, but not like this and not right now. Brother needs to get his crap together and finalize the divorce, custody, and co-parenting arrangements first. He needs to clean up his mess before creating new ones. Fiance says he's in a difficult position because his other groomsman is also bringing a date who we've never met before. But that guy was never married, not a part of my family, and his date's presence will not create any drama. So this situation is different.
Completely
Agreed.
different. Completely.
So we've agreed that we won't invite his girlfriend to the wedding because it would be inappropriate. I told my fiance he can tell my brother that I, his sister, made this decision in my family and my nephew's best interests. I'm ready to be the bad guy. That way he can still save his relationship with his idiot of a best friend. As for me, I'll deal with my idiot of a brother later. Right now, I don't want to talk to him. Update 2 years later. Hello. It's been 2 years, and I was just reminded of my previous post. So here's an update. My wedding took place as scheduled in a beautiful, historic church. I'm not religious, but even I must say the ceremony was beautiful and emotional. My brother attended as the best man, but without his +1.
Thank God.
My parents got to know what was going on and would have let him set foot in the church with another woman while still married. My now ex-sister-in-law or nephew didn't attend either. I was a little sad about my nephew not attending, but I sent him his thank you gift. We learned more about why my brother's marriage imploded and it makes me more sad. Oh. It was because of religion. My parents had organized a baptism for my nephew as per Catholic tradition, and my ex-sister-in-law didn't want it because she's not Catholic. Edit for clarity, nobody told my parents at the time that ex-sister-in-law had an issue. They thought she was on board. My parents had no reason to suspect this would ever be an issue because my brother and ex-sister-in-law got married in a Catholic church, the same one I got married in.
Oh.
But turns out she was cool with it at the time because it was a beautiful historic church, and she thought it was romantic. She had different feelings about the baptism. Not so romantic, huh? Haha. My brother mishandled the whole thing and made his baptism his hill to die on. Ultimately, it was my stupid brother's fault and failure to communicate, but our entire family got blamed for being pushy. If either of them had told his parents, they wouldn't have suggested my nephew be baptized. Added for clarity, in my culture, grandparents host and pay for the baptism party. It's a big deal. So my parents wanted to know if they needed to set money aside and start planning it. The child's parents were supposed to speak with the priest and do the religious parts. That never happened because my brother's marriage had imploded at that point. My parents are not bigoted or intolerant of other faiths. My other brother and sister-in-law are raising their kids Jewish, her mother's religion. My parents were totally cool with it because they were clear about what they wanted for their children. We know what we want for you, children, is you to listen to your favorite podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Just search up OK Storytime on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to it. And children, you'll be blessed with stories just like these for the rest of your lives or 65 days straight. My brother has since divorced my ex-sister-in-law and married the woman he was dating at that time. So she was going to be around for a while. My new sister-in-law is actually quite nice and gets along with the family and is a good stepmom to my nephew.
Okay.
All right. My brother has joint custody. I hope he doesn't mess this marriage up too. She's an observant Catholic, so religion at least won't be an issue at the time. My parents have told my ex-sister-in-law she will always be a part of the family as my nephew's mother, and she is welcome home anytime. She wants to keep her distance though, and I totally understand why. That's the end of that story.
It sounds like everything worked out. She didn't come to the wedding. She's nice now. Sounds like she's a little bit more involved in the family now, too.
Yeah.
Seems pretty chill. I want to evict my brother because he kept bringing me down.
Just can't handle the vibes, man. They're sad.
This is directly from the r/OK Storytime subreddit.
Let's go. They're one of us.
And we do have a trigger warning. There's mentions of verbal abuse.
Yeah, let's go. It's a hot start.
Okay. Would I be the a-hole for punting my brother out? For years, I, 31 female, have tried to be the supportive sister. I've opened my door, my wallet, and my life to my older brother 3 separate times, hoping each time that things would change. At 34 years old, he should be standing on his own 2 feet. Instead, I'm the one holding him up while he drags everyone around him down. He has burned all the bridges in his own life and has moved on to burning the bridges in mine. By the way, this comes from Why Me 1994, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, he lives in my home rent-free. I have him pay $400 a month that I have been saving for him since he's bad with money.
Don't do that. That's for a kid. That's what you do for a child. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yep.
Can't.
Well, my husband and I carry the burden of every expense. I pay for the bills, the food, the gas, food and medicine for his dog, everything. I do this while raising 3 kids with my husband, managing our household, and trying to live a stable, loving life. But instead of gratitude, I get lies, manipulation, and endless chaos. When confronted, he shifts the blame onto me, saying, "Family helps family," when I'm the only one left in his corner. And I have helped him regularly for the last 12 years? 12 years? Or he avoids me entirely, gives me dirty looks, and gives me the cold shoulder. When I ask for his help with anything, dishes, mowing the lawn, or even just asking him to take the trash out, he will procrastinate for days until I snap and just do it myself. And once I'm almost done with the task, he walks up and says, I was just about to do that.
Bro, what? He's just lacking a greater purpose in life. That's what it is. He's never had anything bigger than him that he's been focused on.
The emotional toll is even worse. He has repeatedly crossed boundaries with my friends, trying to pursue them, hook up with them, and wastedly hitting on them in person or via DM, leaving behind awkwardness, tension, and in some cases, irreparable damage. Most recently, he hooked up with my best friend and only close friend. Afterward, when she realized it was a mistake and told him she didn't want to continue the relationship, he became verbally harmful.
Oh my God.
When she started dating someone new, he lashed out, throwing her new relationship in her face and yelling, "You effed the guy," at her. He blamed her for his drinking that weekend, completely ignoring his own destructive behavior. For clarification purposes, they slept together once 3 months ago. And it was the very next day she told him she wasn't going to continue down that road with him. She has since stopped coming over for our weekly game nights, which was the only time outside of work and being a full-time mom I had for me and my friend. The one person I could rely on, besides my husband, for support no longer feels safe or welcome in my home and has opted to create space between them, but also consequently me because of him. As for my husband, he is also getting tired of the constant turmoil that has become our day-to-day. He fully supports whatever I do. He's my rock, my hype man, and the best dad to our kids. He has had to intervene when my brother goes off on me while he's wasted. Anytime I need his support, my husband is there. He has expressed to me many times that he hates the way my brother treats me and takes advantage of the situation, but he doesn't want to create any further drama in the home. My brother and my husband have not seen eye to eye in a long time. This stems from the physical altercation they got into the first time my brother lived with us.
Oh, gosh. You know there's an option where you can kick this guy out and he has to figure his life out? That's an option you have. You know that, right?
That's a great option. We should do that option. And the drinking. It's gotten completely out of control. This past 4th of July weekend was the final straw. He spent the entire weekend hammered. On the 4th, he was so wasted, he fell off the back of the porch twice. He slept through the 5th, then got wasted again on the 6th, yelling, blaming, and creating tension so thick you could cut it with a knife. And when he once again fell over, I asked him bluntly, "Are you wasted?" He yelled back and said, "No, I'm not. Why do you always say that I am?" And under my breath, I said, "Because you always are." His drinking started 12 years ago, and with each year it gets worse. It has cost him girlfriends, friends, jobs, his apartments, and even got himself a DWAI?
Wow, that's a new one.
I've never heard of a DW.
I know the first part of it.
Yeah.
He's drunk. Second
Drinking
part.
While ability impaired.
Oh,
Whoa.
drinking while ability impaired.
Okay.
It's a less severe offense than DWI or a DUI.
DUI.
It's both, yeah. Driving while
Okay.
intoxicated or driving under the influence. In New York, DWAI is a violation, not a crime. But it has penalties like fines, license suspension. So it's similar, but not as, like, I think it's like a level below.
Yeah, you know how much you have to drink in order to get one of those, though?
Also, yeah, if this is getting worse and worse and you genuinely care for your brother, I mean, maybe you brought it up, but like,
Needs help with this.
yeah, I was gonna say like rehab.
Rehab, Miss Woozy, rehab, an
Yeah.
OP,
Yeah.
an enabler, CPP.
PPP.
Definitely has a CPP.
That was during the second stint of him living with me, and he was never sober while on probation. The house, my home, has become uncomfortable and tense for everyone who lives here and even those who visit. What used to be a safe place for my kids, my husband, and our friends is now filled with instability, walking on eggshells, and waiting for the next outburst or wasted disaster. My children are 13, 10, and 5. They all have been witnesses to his recklessness, and part of me fears they will learn from his missteps instead of the path I have tried to set.
So this is happening in front of your kids.
Yeah.
This is on you now. OP.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know. That's come on.
Yeah, that's not on you at all. That's not on him. That's on you for allowing this around your kids.
Though I try to shield them from it all, I worry that I won't be able to shield them from everything. And also, they are 100% seeing all of this. Kids are smart. Again, I am 31 years old. I have a husband, 3 kids, and a life I want to live in peace. I've tried to help, I've tried to be patient, but I'm done. I'm done carrying someone who refuses to carry themselves. I'm done sacrificing my peace and relationships for someone who continues to create wreckage and expects me to clean it up. By the way, we'll continue to create new episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime. But we have another update, but I mean...
It's crazy that not once in the story OP suggested or contemplated the idea of him out.
Yeah. It doesn't even seem to be on her mind that she can. And I'm like, come on.
I understand family's family. Here's my solution. Let's get him a van, let him live down by the river, and he can, that's his space.
Drop him off at rehab.
Yeah.
But we have an update. I have offered to go to AA meetings with him. I have offered to help him look into sober living housing. I have even come up with meetings to just help him cut back on his booze intake. He rejects it all with, if I needed help, I'd get it. Or the classic, I don't have an issue with you, just have an issue with me. Unfortunately, yeah, he's gonna want to not have that anymore.
I'm gonna save that one for another time. I don't have an issue with caffeine. You just have an issue with me drinking caffeine.
Have an issue with me when I'm caffeinated.
Yeah.
Sounds like you have an issue.
Yeah, you do with me. I'm fine.
Okay.
This isn't about being a good sister anymore. It's about being a good mother, a good wife, a protector of my family's well-being and my own sanity. But I'm torn. My heart is conflicted. He is my brother, and I only want to see him succeed, but I also don't want to see him homeless. I love him, but I can no longer live with him. What should I do? How do I go about getting him out of my home? Is this grounds for low to no contact? Help me. We have some comments. Should we read them, or you got anything?
No contact. Kick him out. Be a good mother. And apologize to your kids.
Comment 1. He needs to go. He should have been gone a while ago. Your kids are seeing way too much, hearing too much, and being subjected to things for all these years. I understand he's your brother, but you have to protect your family. I'd give him the money you've saved and send him to rehab or a homeless shelter, sadly. He will only be able to get better when he's ready, and you unconsciously hold him back from getting to that place by enabling him. Sorry to sound so harsh, but I couldn't do this with my kids around. Commenter 2. I am saying this with all the love in the world, but he treats you like crap and escalates each time. Because you enable it to keep happening. It's like parenting, but with an adult. You say do your chores, and he doesn't because he knows you will eventually get annoyed and do it yourself. You try to implement a boundary, he bulldozes through it and acts belligerent because he knows you have a family supports family mindset. If you don't call the cops on him to have him removed, take him out for a lunch in a public space to explain that he is no longer welcome in your home. Have hubby change the locks while you're out and explain that until he makes some serious changes, he won't be allowed to live with you anymore. He is hurting your family and traumatizing your kids, and it ends now. Give him the money you've saved and walk away. He can't claim squatter's rights if he doesn't have access to the property. Unfortunately, the nice and easy way doesn't work with harmful people, and the last thing you need is him to escalate from verbal to physical violence against a member of your family.
Yeah.
And OP actually responds to that one. That's actually a good idea, to have him away from the home while implementing new boundaries. Changing the locks is a great idea. What do I do about his stuff while we are out to lunch? And I'm not taking any word from anyone as harsh or as a dig at me. I know I've played a big part in enabling. I just absolutely hate confrontation. He does bulldoze through everything. Last year, from January 24 to January 15th, 25, he lived with our mom and did the same thing to her. He randomly showed up to my place at the end of February after living in his truck for about a month. It started with him coming over for dinners and leaving, then he started sleeping in his truck in my driveway, and genuinely my heart broke for him. I let him sleep in our guest room once, and he just never left. I have tried talking to him, have left him letters, usually the only time he almost listens. He sulks for a day or two. Never apologizes, never changes, and goes right back to drinking.
Yikes.
You're enabling that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, OP. I know you're part of our community, but this is the hard truth, and we've said it. You're enabling all of that.
Yeah.
I refuse to attend my sister's wedding because she wants my child on display.
On display as what?
And this comes from one of our own on the r/OKstorytime subreddit. So if you want to submit this, go to the r/OKstorytime subreddit.
Another one.
Hi. So my sister, 29 female, is having her wedding in 2 weeks. Both my wife, 36 female, and I, 37 male, are in the wedding. My wife is a bridesmaid, and I'm officiating. By the way, this comes from Apprehensive Secret, too. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKstorytime subreddit. So over the course of her engagement and wedding planning, my sister, who is fairly normal and quiet before, has developed into a nightmare. The reason my wife is a bridesmaid is because she had a falling out with her two of her best friends already and has begged my wife to step in because we family. And my wife obliged, but said every meeting she's been to, my sister is having a meltdown over everything from the catering to not being just right or the colors or a shade too dark. According to my wife, these are full-blown toddler tantrum meltdowns for problems that were easily fixed with some communication, often just a simple email. My sister uninvited a cousin for a daring to get pregnant. Wait, what?
What?
My sister uninvited a cousin for daring to get pregnant?
For daring? Like,
Bridezilla.
that's Bridezilla
Everything has
territory.
to
That's
be about me.
100%.
A friend of hers was uninvited because she was in a car accident. She didn't want the scars in the pictures.
No, that's just like way too concerned about like a picture perfect wedding there. That's insane.
This one's getting divorced. I can already tell. I
Hope so. That's crazy.
If you're like that worried about material things,
about your pictures looking like pictures over friends and family.
oh my gosh.
Mm-mm.
At her first cake testing, she got so mad she threw a plate at an assistant, causing the bakery to drop her as a client, and she got caught in a harmful act charge.
Hey, that's the biggest red flag there is. Do not marry her. Do not get married to her.
Led to some fines, a nice settlement for the assistant, and some community service. This might be number one right here. This might be her.
That's insane. Oh my God.
So yeah, just an absolute bridezilla. Honestly, if I wasn't immediate family, I would have probably noped out of her wedding so much sooner. Now, the reason for both dropping is due in part to the fact that my sister wanted a child-free wedding. My wife and I are not opposed to this. We have a toddler, 4 male, and he would in no way be patient enough to sit quietly through the wedding. Not to mention, one of us would always have to be hyper-vigilant in watching him. There were other guests who were apparently peeved over the child-free wedding. My wife and I were not. It was great. We arranged for our son to get to my sister-in-law's for the weekend. We would have a blast with his cousins, 4 of them, 2 through 8, and my family and I, outside our wedding duties, would have a mini vacation to ourselves. Win-win in my book. Okay. So
Yeah. When it comes down to the child-free stuff, like, ultimately that's whoever's getting married's choice. And if you're just going to have to accept the fact that if you do that rule, some people might not come.
yeah,
But, like, you can't really, like, that's
don't-
their...
imagine myself having a child-free wedding.
I think it's crazy, but some people just don't want it. So,
Makes sense. So note, the venue is a 4 to 5 hour drive away from where we live at one of those all-inclusive resorts. But then, last week, my wife came home after an emergency meeting with my sister, visibly upset. She didn't want to tell me what happened at first, but I eventually got it out of her. Apparently, my sister got in her head that she would like to have some children around, but not at the ceremony or reception, just as props for photos.
That's so. What? What?
So she wanted us to bring our son just for that. Then when my wife asked what we would do with our son when he wasn't being used in the photos, my sister just shrugged and told her to figure it out, offering such amazing helpful suggestions as just hire a babysitter or just leave him in your room with an iPad for hours on end.
That's crazy.
The resort itself doesn't offer babysitting services. There is a kids club, but we would have to leave pretty early in the reception to pick them up before they closed. This was apparently unacceptable to my sister. Eventually, my sister got agitated and had another meltdown. She became verbally harmful, accusing my wife of sabotaging her wedding because she was jealous. My sister is probably referring to the fact that my wife and I got married during the vid. Instead of waiting, we just wanted to be married, so we have a courthouse wedding over Zoom. It was great. Oh.
Yeah.
My sister apparently also threatened to tell me that my wife was cheating. Not sure why my sister thinks this would work, since my wife and I both work from home and we spend like 99% of our time together. Then my sister started talking trash about our baby, which is when my wife promptly got up and left. Now I've tolerated a lot of BS from my sister over her wedding, but I was not going to tolerate her abusing my wife and kid. I texted my sister a very angry, profanely filled message and told her my wife and I were both dropping out, so good luck. I then called my parents to tell them what was happening. Dude,
10 out of 10.
beautiful execution.
Great job.
Beautiful.
Why are you coming at a baby?
Yeah, and your baby's got a big head.
Right? Like,
What are you gonna call him? He's just looking for his next meal.
He's just chilling. He doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about your wedding.
He probably just started walking.
That's
Hey, I'm walking here.
insane. I'm walking here.
Dude, wild. They weren't happy with my sister, but they asked me to reconsider since your sister is under a lot of stress and it would ruin her wedding. Dude, not my
This is
freaking problem.
insane.
Other family members and friends also called. Once again, I was told how much stress my sister was under and that she didn't mean it. My sister sent me a apologizing the "I'm sorry your wife was offended" variety. Then my parents offered to pay for an extra room so my sister-in-law could come with her kids.
So we're just adapting to the terrible humans' request.
Once that offer happened, everyone doubled down on bombarding me with messages. In their eyes, the main issue was resolved. My sister had apologized. My parents were now solving the problem with my child, and all was right in the world. But to me, it wasn't. My sister screamed at my wife and insulted my child. Some of her insults were incredibly vicious. I don't really care that my parents were stepping up with the money. It's not about the money. It's about the courtesy and respect. The things she said to my wife and about my child are unacceptable, and I will not subject my wife and my child to her presence again.
Good. Thank God.
I've told my parents that we're going no contact with my sister for the time being, and if they push it, they will not be seeing their grandchild either. As of now, I just have everyone muted and blocked, at least until after the wedding, if it still happens. I'm not sure how hard it will be for her to find another officiant. I don't think she actually needs another bridesmaids for other than aesthetics. I forgot he was the officiant. Originally, my wife said I should post this on Am I the A-hole? But honestly, I don't give one effing flying F whether I'm the a-hole or not. I'm protecting my family, and my sister can go pound sand. Though, am I the a-hole? I don't really think I am here. By the way, my wife loves your show.
Oh my God,
She
I
thought you
forgot.
guys would like this story. Your wife was right!
She was so
Oh
right.
my gosh! Let's go! Dude.
Wow.
Dude. Not only did our family member bless us with the story, on top of it, they blessed us with the effing update. And we're halfway through, and it's a good one. I know it. Holy
this is great.
cow!
You are not the a-hole in any way.
This is incredible. I'm speechless. Any thought, Keon, Carly?
I'm worried for where this update's going, but
Yeah.
No, I'm proud of you, OP.
yeah.
You knew what was right, and you knew to stand your ground, and you took yourself out of that circumstance. I'm so proud of you because again, we've gotten like the last story, where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, like we're dealing with it, and we won't remove my brother.
Nah.
So
They
like,
came and did what they needed to do.
Yes.
you stood on business.
And I'm going to stand for this update. I'm sure nobody will be surprised by this. Saturday was supposed to be my sister's wedding.
Oh.
It got canceled instead. Now, I spent the 4th of July weekend with my in-laws, so everything I've heard is secondhanded. But here's a rundown of what happened in the week or so since I dropped out. I am just joy. I have so much joy right now. My sister found a replacement bridesmaid for my wife by pressuring a cousin of her fiance. Sister then proceeds to have a meltdown because there's no way to get said cousin to customize bridesmaid dress in time. She tries to pressure my brother to get the dress for my wife, but everyone involved points out that my wife is almost an entire foot taller than said cousin, 4'11" to my wife's 5'10".
Ay, that's not gonna fit.
Bridesmaid problem is promptly solved when a groomsman is forced to drop out due to getting the vid. Sister makes no friends by expressing relief that a friend of the groom with some comorbidities got a potential life-risky disease. At this point, any remaining relatives still pestering me about cutting off my sister stop. Some have the humility to apologize. Other just pretend nothing's happened. The ones that pretend that nothing happens, there's too many of those that exist. Too many.
Yeah.
Next, sister tried to solve the officiating problem by pushing my brother to do it. My parents very reasonably got suspicious when my troll of a brother agreed too easily.
Huh? Wait, what?
The troll of a brother agreed. He's a troll. He's like, yeah, I'll officiate. No problem.
Oh.
They convinced my sister that someone who was a friend of a friend would be much better suited, being an actual minister. Sister reluctantly agrees, but my parents also expected that the seats vacated by me and my wife would go to the new officiant and his wife. My sister refuses to have strangers at her reception. Argument got really loud. End result, my brother would be officiating. When telling me the story, he seemed upset he wasn't able to perform.
I kind of wish that we had gotten it and had gotten the like rundown of what the speech was.
Oh my gosh, you said perform, not officiate.
Perform. Perform. That was gonna be some good stuff.
Finally, sister, not willing to give up her perfect photos, reached out to even more families to bring their kids to be used as props and then discarded for the reception. Most families rightfully refused. Sister mother-in-law, trying to be a helpful person that she is, suggested some of the older kids in her family, kids who would take the pictures and then could actually be left to their own devices for the ceremony. Sister refuses, given that her vision involved cute toddlers and not stupid teenagers.
I'm sure they loved that. They loved being called stupid teens.
Sister and her mother-in-law proceeded to have a loud argument that ended with mother-in-law in tears and sister storming off. This was done in a public restaurant with my parents and brother in attendance. It got awkward for a few minutes. Then my sister, apparently refusing to let the fight with her future mother-in-law go, demanded her fiance uninvite his mother from the wedding. Again,
Sure.
this was in front of my parents and brother. Everyone present tells sister she's out of line. Sister freaks out at everyone. She claims it's unfair nobody's supporting her for wanting her fiance to cut family off. But everyone supported my wife when I cut her off. She starts wailing in the restaurant. Oh my gosh.
Wow. Wow.
Sister's fiance takes her home at this point. 2 hours later, the wedding was canceled, and my father forcefully removed my sister from her apartment she shared with the fiance. Apparently, the fight turned violent as my sister started throwing things. One of the things thrown was a jewelry box, which broke when it hit the wall and revealed some pills that were hidden in a little compartment.
It just keeps unfolding. There's more and more.
more.
This led to a lot of concern on the fiance's part. A thorough search of the apartment and her car and revealed that my sister was abused. Zan.
Ooh.
So yeah, the wedding got canceled. On Monday, I went with my brother to get the rest of my sister's stuff from the apartment. The fiance apologized to me. I straight up told him I probably would have reevaluated the wedding when she got harmful with the girl at the bakery. He admitted that he had some misgivings for months now, but stayed in because he felt he was stuck. It was a classic sunk cost fallacy.
That just keeps coming up today.
It gets to the best of us, man. My sister is living at my parents' house currently. Her job suspended her when they found out she was a Zan. She's a lab assistant at a pharmaceutical company.
Oh.
They told her she would be fired if she doesn't go to rehab. Her fiance also wants her to go to rehab and therapy before even discussing a possible future. Holy cow. My sister is resisting despite my parents' best attempts. I forwarded the messages my wife and I got from my censor since we've muted her. There were hundreds of very deranged messages. It probably won't work, but they may be able to convince a judge to issue a psychiatric hold on her until she actually goes into rehab, though. I will remain uninvolved. If she does go, I will help my parents with paperwork and navigating doctors and such. To note, my family is Taiwanese. My parents can speak English well enough to get by, but unless the rehab center can provide an interpreter, I'm willing to go help with this. On another note, my parents and sister had booked a very large, exclusive suite at the resort. The room has multiple bedrooms, a living room, a dining room, and even a kitchen. As an apology, they offered the room to me and my wife. So an ironic twist, I'm writing this update from the wedding venue that I had intended to avoid this weekend.
That's kind of crazy, though. That's a little crazy. I like it. I'm here for it.
Since the room was massive, we invited sister-in-law and her kids to come with us. Brother-in-law can't get off work, so he'll join us over the weekend. My brother is also here with his fiance. Turns out, she's pregnant. I jokingly asked my brother if he considered announcing it at her sister's wedding. He was suspiciously vague about his plans, saying that nothing would have happened if sister behaved. On that note, I'm glad my brother was still financially dependent on our parents when I got married. By the way, will you listen to stories from OK Storytime on your favorite podcast platform? Say I do by going to your favorite podcast platform, searching up OK Storytime on Apple, iHeartRadio, or Spotify, and be wed with us forever, and we won't be a bridezilla. That is wild. This is
Wow.
the best bridezilla story I've ever read in my life.
Because it's the only one with like a, I mean, it's not a good turnout, but like, whoa.
This is crazy.
And then going to the like, basically like the bridal suite for the whole like weekend of
Like, he's on Reddit typing this out.
Like, yeah, guys, by the way, I'm in her room right now.
Bro.
Great.
This is the best story ever.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's almost funny how I spent months actually dreading this weekend coming, only for it to now be amazing. My wife's sister-in-law and brother's fiance are going shopping for baby and maternity stuff tomorrow. Cute. Meanwhile, since I had promised the kids I would take them fishing, brother and I will wrangle the kids up to a lake for a fishing day trip. I plan to call my parents after we get back to see if my sister ends up giving on rehab and therapy. I know some people are already inclined to blame the Zan for her issues. While the substance may be a part of the problem, I don't think they're entirely to blame. She probably has a long road of rehab and therapy ahead of her to get her crap together. And that's the end of that one.
Wow. Well,
Wow. Dude,
handled that great.
beautiful, beautiful, OP.
Wow.
Your wife is fantastic for you to suggesting this, and we love you for that. Holy cow. That is amazing. But guys, if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.